Hi, and welcome to the Resources Roadhouse. I'm Wally Graham, and today I'm speaking with Brett Smith, Managing Director of Corazon Mining. Now, Brett, you have two projects. You've got the Lynn Lake project over in Canada. You've also got the Mount Gilmore project in New South Wales. Most of your focus at the moment is in Canada. You've been busy over there doing some interesting work. We'll get you to just sort of give us a rundown on what's been happening over there at Lynn Lake.
Right, well, good to chat again. Okay, so as listeners might know that we've got a large nickel sulphide project in Canada, the old Lynn Lake mining district, mined for 24 years. We own all the mining centre, 100%, and all the prospective exploration ground. We see Lynn Lake as a development opportunity. We have large resources there, large JORC compliant, high quality resources, especially in the future with increasing demand for nickel. It's becoming a focus. So we're keeping that ticking away in the background, de-risking it so we can, at some stage in the future, commit to full feasibility. But a major focus for Lynn Lake has always been exploration, and it's been described as one of the best brownfields nickel sulphide exploration plays in North America. And we believe that ourselves. And at the moment, we're looking at some new target areas pretty close to where we have been exploring for the last few years. Identified by a new and innovative geophysical method. We've got some big conductors there to test, never been tested before, and it's quite an exciting stage for the project.
All right, just sort of pick you up there on the new or the new tenure, whatever you want to call it, but and which you sort of alluded to there. Okay, so there was a new exploration method you threw out there, and that's helped to identify this piece of ground that you thought, oh, okay, we might as well add that. That looks pretty good. Let's go and have a look at it. Is that pretty much it in a nutshell?
Pretty much. We've had a lot of trouble exploring in Lynn Lake using traditional electromagnetic methods, ground EM or aerial EM such as VTEM. There's so much surface conductance that there's a lot of conductors that are identified, and they really suck the energy out of this system, so you get no depth penetration at all. And a lot of the conductors that are identified in the past are false positives. So we stumbled across this new method that's very passive in its nature, and it's been a game changer for us. You know, all these areas of significant conductance in the past, which have been drill tested by the old timers and drill tested by us, that come up with nothing. They're not even conductive in this new method. But we've identified, I guess, at the extensions from where we've been drilling at Fraser Lake, we've identified this big area of conductance that looks quite interesting. It's to identify these bullseye targets that we've been after, and some, as you mentioned, some were in new areas that we didn't have tenure over, so we've acquired some new ground as well for these anomalies.
Okay, so even when you've run it over your older targets, has that sort of shown them in a different light as well?
I'll give you an example. We've got a lot of VMSs through the Lynn Lake area. These are copper zinc type VMSs, and so some of these are well tested with drilling. And so we've used this over regionally over as much area as we can in Lynn Lake, and so it's tested some of these VMSs as well. We can see, you know, in 3 dimensions where the VMSs are best and extensions to those. We can see and that supports what the drilling has showed us, historical drilling has showed us. So we know, as far as massive sulphide goes for VMSs, not necessarily nickel sulphide, it works extremely well. So take that across the nickel, it should work. In the mining centre, we tried to do a few lines there, but due to all the high powered power lines and things like that, we've got a fair bit of noise. But in areas, and we've got glimpses of where this system should work, and it seems to support what we know geologically. So we've got a fair bit of, I guess, belief it's going to turn up with the goods.
And I suppose with something like this highlighting particular targets as it is, it also really directs your drilling efforts as well. And so, you know, it can be a money-saving prospect as well.
Yeah, we can't afford to drill these all these anomalies and targets out, unfortunately. We probably would have been more advanced if we were a company that much larger. We could have waste dollars on drilling unnecessary holes, but we don't do that. These targets are not only supported with the Mobile MT, this new system, they're supported with gravity anomalies, magnetic anomalies in various forms. And we do have conductors from aerial geothem and VTEM to also support them. But what it does, it puts belief in the targets and the conductors, instead of saying, okay, that conductor could be a red herring or whatever. So there's a number of different systems that we use to support the targeting criteria.
All right, okay. And With the drilling in Canada, is there any sort of difficulties over there at the moment with the COVID? Are you sort of restricted about where you can't go?
Well, it's a state of flux at the moment, Wally. Our holes are all prepped, the tracks in there are all prepped, ready to go. The drillers were to mobilise about a week ago, but they had a COVID outbreak in Lynn Lake, and in fact, a lot of Northern America, Northern Canada, and all that kind of stuff have seen a fair bit of COVID. I guess progression since Christmas. So a lot of the socialising over Christmas had an effect. We've been lucky that exploration and mining is seen as an essential service to the province of Manitoba. So we've been lucky to date, but it is a state of flux. We've pushed out our drilling start date to now. We expect people to be on site from now going forward. But really, we're waiting on what the government's doing. We're working with them parameters they set, and they can change on a daily basis. But at this stage, as per our announcements, we've got people arriving on site today, going forward up till early February, and hope to be drilling early February.
All right, no worries. Well, just before we go, Mount Gilmore over here in New South Wales, the cobalt project over there. How's things just going there?
We've got our drill permits to drill. We've identified, investors that know Mount Gilmore. It's a large geochemical anomaly for copper, cobalt, silver, gold, sulphide. It's in a new area, never been drill tested, but the geochemical anomalies are kilometres long. I think the core of the main anomaly is about 8 kilometres long, so quite a substantial geochemical target, never been drill tested. We've done a bit of reconnaissance geophysics. We've generated targets, geophysical anomalies where we have this elevated geochemistry. And our best target, I guess our number one target, also has a mineralised porphyry, intrusive rock outcropping at its surface. So we've got the drilling permits passed by the New South Wales government. It's just a matter now scheduling it in and really, getting a rig to be able to drill. New South Wales is fairly buoyant and like Western Australia with respect to exploration activity. So it's a case of just trying to get there. And we've had a lot of trouble accessing that project because of the travel restrictions between Western Australia and the East Coast. So hopefully we'll see that start to ease and we can get our team there.
All right, so everything's on a wait and see basis at the moment, just to see how things are going there with you over at Lynn Lake and at Mount Gilmore. But I suppose we're on a wait and see basis too, just waiting on news to come through. So we'll wait on that news and we'll bring it to our readers and viewers here at the Resources Roadhouse. But until then, Brett Smith, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Wally. Waiting doesn't change what's in the ground, mate. We'll just keep going.
Yes, the ox is slow, but the earth is patient, Brett. Yes.
Thanks, mate. Talk to you soon.
Bye.